So we got some of your best work over the years, but then as you continued, then you got with Dre and Aftermath and did a lot of stuff with G Unit, of course. So with that thing, what different did you see? Because you've been with the Raucous movement, you've been with the Snoop movement, you've had your own movement in Cincinnati, and then getting with the G Unit, which was kind of an interesting organization because they had so many artists from so many different parts of the country. So what did you see that was different about 50 Cent and G Unit than the other spots you had been around?
Oh man, I think 50 Cent and G Unit was a natural mesh for me.
Okay.
At the end of the day, my more East Coast driven sound,
right,
mixed with what they were already doing and what I was already doing with Aftermath or with Snoop. I think it was a natural thing. At the time, I mean, that's like a big accomplishment for me, because those guys were selling records, and it ain't nothing like being on a selling record, a successful project,
right,
and still deliver at the same time. It's not about the sales, really, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to display. It's a bigger platform to display, and it leads to bigger projects. But I think with having like 50, doing something with 50 and the G Unit when they're at the top of their game was like a big accomplishment for me. But I have to give respect to Dre for that.
right,
Because Dre at the time, and that's crazy because I worked with Snoop first, and Dre was familiar with my music, I think, at the time, but I had actually got reintroduced to Dre on a different page.
Okay.
Which was like the first track me and Dre did, he actually rapped on my track, which was the True First project. And we did a song called Hollywood.
Yeah,
but that was like me and Dre's first first collabo, And I think when he played like G Unit those tracks, he didn't necessarily say Hi-Tek did them. He didn't really say Dre was just being the executive producer that he is. You know what I'm saying? He's a broad thinker, and a lot of people need to listen to their producer, man. And a lot of people, the reason why they decline in their careers a lot of times is because they stop wanting to be produced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They as artists now know everything.
Yeah, and they think they can't hear beyond the beat. You can make a cool song, but it's some intricacies that go into it that me and Dre only know.
Right.
But it's about, it's Picasso, and then you got regular paintings that's in the mall wall, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you've made several Picassos.
No doubt.
So
appreciate it.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So what are the next Picassos? What you got? What are you working on? What's coming up?
Oh man, I'm just really like rethinking what I want to do.
Okay.
And trying to put myself in the right circle of work. Something to like bring out what I do best, like scoring movies or scoring films, or like that next artist to me has to be an artist like a younger artist that I want to work. It has to be something that's like an Anderson .Paak, somebody that's has more to bring to the table. And it always come back to when I started it, what got me into this game, which was Mos Def and Kweli.
Right.
And when I met those guys, they already had a vision and a drive of what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And they would take some of my scrap tracks and make them songs. So I always bring it back to that. And that kind of reminded me of, Anderson reminded me of that. Okay. When we did that track, it reminded me of the process of Kweli and Mos Def. So right now, I'm just kind of rethinking my whole thing. I'm taking my time, because I feel like, you got to work smarter, not harder,
Right.
Because if you're already talented, it's all about your approach and the things that you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think I've wasted a lot of time trying to like polish a diamond out of the rough when like I'm pouring my heart and passion out on these artists, and I got these projects sitting on my hard drive, and they never come out.
Right.
I mean, the money is cool. You get a budget for it. You get it delayed, but the thing is, your fans don't have anything to do with that. So if they're sitting waiting, and then they say like, well, where's Hi-Tek? And they never get this project, you know. And I always feel like I was kind of stuck in limbo in technology, meaning when me and Quality dropped like Train of Thought and all, just my whole, we were all like always behind like YouTube. YouTube wasn't around. You know, there was no Instagram or Twitter, none of those type of platforms. Or like when I dropped my album in 2006, doing like, you know, cheap videos really wasn't the thing. I was still kind of waiting on that big budget video. But really now I look back at it, I was like, man, I could have just did a video on the iPhone. So right now I'm just trying to be smarter and do smarter things. And big up to Anderson .Paak on the Grammy now.
Yeah,
you know, I feel like I was a part of that, and it's about being smarter, man.
Well, there it is, y'all. He's Hi-Tek. I'm Soren Baker here on Unique Access. Thank you for coming through, sir.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.